Talladega never disappoints, does it? Talladega always produces eventful NASCAR races. The day that Talladega has a boring NASCAR race is the day that hell freezes over, in my opinion. It's always eventful, and this year's Yellawood 500 was very eventful too. So let's dive into it, guys. Let's have a look at the 5 things that we learned from the Yellawood 500 from Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama. So let's start with Michael McDowell, who led away at the start of this race, and he led most of stage 1. But in the end, it was eventually Chris Buescher who took the win, just ahead of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in stage 1. Literally on the line, and it's something that we saw throughout all 3 stages as well. Incredibly close finishes, as the draft is so important here, so the leader cannot really break away from the chase. In fact, it's pretty much impossible at that point. But yeah, Stenhouse Jr. just missing out on that stage 1 win, but he would get some redemption for that later on in the day. Second thing I want to talk about, though, second person I want to talk about is Daniel Suarez. Now, he had an awful day, a very short day around Talladega, one of the 12 remaining playoff drivers, a driver that I highlighted in my preview for this event as well, because in truth he needed a good result around this track, and unfortunately he did not get it. He had a pass-through penalty for something that his team did before the race started, and then he got lapped pretty soon after as a result too. But when he was trying to avoid going 2 laps down, trying to keep up with the pack that had now lapped him, he made contact with BJ McLeod, and unfortunately because of that he was out of the race. It was 100% Suarez's fault, without a doubt. He just came up on McLeod. McLeod had nowhere to go, and therefore Suarez was out of the race as a result of that. However, despite that, it was looking as though he was going to be really suffering and really do well to make it through to the round of 8 because of the points difference that he would have had because of all the drivers ahead of him in the playoffs all finishing well. It seemed as though that was going to be the case, but the big one near the end of this race changed all of that. More on that very shortly. Austin Cindric, who is someone that I think he finished in 19th in the regular season, something like that. He is making a really, really good go with the playoffs. He is doing fantastically well in the playoffs, in my opinion. And Austin Cindric did end up winning stage 2, of course, there as well. So very impressive for him. Ross Chastain and Ryan Blaney, though, they crashed over the line. A big impact for them. It looked as though Bowman bumped Blaney. Blaney went up the track and then into Chastain as a result of that. I mean, Chastain, absolute innocent bystander in that. Nothing anybody could do really about it because people behind him and bump drafting. It's very dangerous around these tracks, but that's part of the thrill at the end of the day. That's part of the reason why we love it. These guys are incredible at doing what they do. But yeah, an absolute Talladega crash in a nutshell over the line. But the biggest big one, one of the biggest big ones that I've ever seen in NASCAR, like literally almost the entire field was involved in this. Not too many guys ended up dropping out as a result. There weren't too many drivers that were badly damaged by it, but everybody was spinning behind because of this, because it was a big one with just a few laps to go where literally right near the front of the field these guys were crashing into each other and stuff. So it was pretty bad. But from what I can tell, it was Cindric basically losing momentum. He got backed into Brad Keselowski as a result, and there was a chain reaction from there because I think it was Logano hitting to Keselowski, and I think Buescher hit to... It was just basically a massive chain reaction, loads of drivers involved, and because of that, it actually saves Suarez's playoffs hopes, really. And without that, I think he would pretty much be out. He'd be over 40 points behind with 60 to play for, so he would pretty much be out at that point. But he managed to get not bad of a day in the end for Suarez, despite not finishing. But yeah, real chain reaction, a lot of cars involved with that. Everybody okay, thankfully, which is a real big relief. And the final thing we learned is that at the restart into overtime, it was so entertaining watching these guys battle it out. Larson was there, Stenhouse was there, Keselowski was there, Byron was there. All of them were battling it, and Stenhouse Jr., Keselowski and Byron over the line were pretty much all line astern, 3 wide over the line, and eventually it was determined that Stenhouse Jr. got the win by 6/1000th of a second. That's how close it was. It was almost like the Cars finish in the start of that Pixar movie. And if you guys have seen that, you'll know what I'm talking about with that. Literally, I mean, if one of them stuck a tongue out or something like that with their car, then perhaps they would have won, but in the end it was Stenhouse Jr. Stenhouse Jr., his first win of the season, another non-playoff driver winning a race. There's been a lot of them. Incredible stuff, really. It keeps happening. These guys outside the playoffs, I mean, we're breaking records for the number of wins for different drivers in NASCAR this season, and so it proves the playoffs is an absolute lottery, not just for the drivers actually in them, but for the drivers that are out of them as well. But yeah, those are the highlights of this race. What do you guys think of it? Let us know in the comments below. As usual, I will not be unfortunately, I will not be bringing you the review for the next race around the Charlotte Roval. I'll be on holiday. I'm going on a little vacation, as they say, over in the States. Not going to the States, unfortunately, but yeah, I'm going to be away for that one, unfortunately, so I won't be able to bring you a review of that, but I will be back for Las Vegas, and in the lead up to the Charlotte Roval as well, I will be bringing you guys some videos to preview it, as always. So yeah, I'll be back the week after, but yeah, we'll be bringing you some content here on the NASCAR Chronicle in the meantime as well. And yeah, we'll see you very soon, guys. Have a good one. Hope you had a great weekend, and yeah, see you soon for some more NASCAR content on the NASCARchronicle.com.